Good morning everyone. My name is T. Ramreddy. I am from ECC section and the department Electronics and Communication Engineering. Today the concept video topic is about random variables and the operations and random variables. Random variables and the types. Random variables is a fundamental concept in statistics that bridges the gap between the theoretical probability and world data. A random variable statistics is a function that assigns real value to an outcome. The simple sample space of a random experiment. For example, if you roll a die, you can assign a number of each possible outcome. There are two basic types of random variables: discrete random variables and the continuous random variables. Discrete random variables is nothing but which can take a specific values. For example, in the discrete randoms they are not infinity and not infinity values. Discrete random variables are certain, they have finite value, and the continuous random variables, it is quite opposite of discrete random variables. Discrete continuous random variables is assume any value with a given range. Continuous random variables is for nothing but a infinite value. Now we learned about discrete random variables. Discrete random variables takes a finite number of value. The probability function associated is said to be the PMF. The PMF full form is probability mass function. PMS is a probability mass function. If x is a discrete random variable and PMF probability mass function of x is P of x, then the P of x, P of m, PM, PM, PMF, PMF is between the 0 and 1. P is nothing but probability. The probability is equal to 0 or less than or 1 or 0 between the 0 and 1. The summation of the probability is equal to 1, where the sum is taken over all the possible values of x. Continuous random variables. Continuous random variables takes an infinite number of values. We said in the before only, there are continuous random variables are infinite. Discrete random variables is nothing but finite. The probability function associated with the continuous is a probability density function. In the discrete random variables there is a probability mass function, but in the continuous probability density function. Probability PDF, nothing but probability density function. If x is a continuous random variables, P of x is less than x plus dx is equal to f of x dx. Then f of x is between the 0 and the 1 for all value of x. Summation of f of x dx equal to 1 over the values of x. Then P of x is said to be PDF on the distribution. Random variables formulas. We learned about the formulas of the random variables. There are two main random variable formulas: mean random variable, variance of random variable. Mean of the random variable. Mean is let's learn about some in detail. For any random variable x, where p is its respective probability, was defined its mean as mean nothing but mu equal to summation of x dot p. X is a random variable that consists of all possible values. P is the probability of respect variables. Variance of random variables. The variance of random variables tells us how the random variable is spread but about the random variable mean value of the random variables. The variance of the random variables is calculated using the formula variance of x equal to sigma square. Sigma Variance is nothing but sigma square or E of x square minus E of x whole square. E of x square is equal to summation of x square into p. E of x into summation, E of x equal to summation of x into p. Random variables function. For any random variables x, if it is assumed the values x1, x2 or so on, when the probability corresponding to each random variables p of x1 comma p of x2 comma p of so on p of xn, that expected the value variable in the expectations, E of x equal to x into sigma x into p of x. Now for any random variables y, which is random variable x, it is input, that is y equal to f of x, then cumulative distribution function of y is p of f of y is equal to p of g of x less than or equal to y. Various probability of distributions are binomial distribution, Poisson distribution, Bernoulli distribution, exponential distribution, normal distribution. And now we learned about binomial distribution. Bernoulli's trials theorem. The following theorem gives the probability of success r and the number of times in the number of trials, and its statement as is follow. Statement: if probability of occurrence of any event, probability of success in a single trial, Bernoulli's experiment is the p of x, then the probability that the event occurs exactly times out of the n independent trials are equal to CR of Q of all power n minus R P of R, where Q equal to 1 minus P. The probability of failure for the event. To summarize the above theorem, probability of R success in the trials, in n trials, NCR equal into Q power n minus R P power R, where P is a probability function. Probability of success Q equal to 1 minus probability 1 minus P is the probability of failure. N is the number of independent trials and R is the number of times an event occurred. Poisson distribution. Poisson distribution is characterized by a single parameter lambda, which represents the average rate of occurrence of the events. The probability mass function of the Poisson distribution is given by p of x equal to k equal to e power minus lambda power k by k factorial, where p of x equal to k is the probability of observing k events, e is the base of neutral logarithm, and the value of e is approximately 2.71828. Lambda is the average rate of occurrence of events. K is the number of events that occur. Bernoulli's distribution. Bernoulli's distribution, probability of distribution function is Bernoulli's distribution. PDF calculates the probability of discrete random variables take specific value for Bernoulli's distribution. It helps in finding the probability of getting success in or failure. Success equal to 1 or failure or equal to 0. P of x equal to k. P of p power x into 1 minus p 1 minus x, x equal to 0 or 1 equals 0, x equal to 0 or 1. P is in between 0 and 1. Here x can only be 0 or 1. The PDF, which is denoted p of x equal to x, calculates the probability that the random variables x equals an specific value of x. If f of x equal to 1 success, then the probability is p. If f of x equal to 0 failure, the probability is q, which is completed of p and also written as 1 minus p. Exponential distribution theorem. Exponential distribution. What is exponential distribution? What is exponential distribution means a random variable x is said to be exponentially distributed. It has mean v equal to 1 by lambda and the variance is equal to 1 by lambda square. Then the variable is known as exponential distribution. F of x equal to lambda e power minus lambda z. And thank you.